Hello, I want to welcome you on behalf of the Alva-Manvel Area Chamber of Commerce to our video candidate forum for the Manvel City election. I have several people I'd like to thank for this opportunity. First, we'd like to thank Heights Baptist Church for hosting this forum and letting us use their sound and audio and visual equipment to put this on. I'd also like to thank the Governmental Relations Committee and my staff who helped put this together and organize it for us all today. At this time, I'd like to introduce our 2024 Chairman of the Board for the Alva-Manvel Area Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Jake Starkey, who's also the co-owner of 1820 Enterprises here in Alvin.
Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you for all the candidates in the City of Manvel City Council race for participating in this forum. I'm now going to turn it over to our moderator, Carolyn Waits.
Hi, thanks for being here today. I'm going to quickly go over the forum rules just so that everybody's on the same page. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes to make an opening statement regarding their objectives and platform. Each candidate will be given up to 1 minute to answer the questions. No question will be asked that is directed to one particular candidate. All candidates' answers and statements will be timed. The timer will start when the candidate begins to speak. A yellow sign will signify that you have 30 seconds left for your reply. When you see the red sign, your minute is up. Please stop speaking. At 65 seconds, the facilitator will move to the next candidate if you've not begun to finish your thought. Our time is very limited this evening. We will not be able to answer all the questions that have been given. And each candidate will be given 2 minutes for a closing statement. All rules regarding the time, lights, and timer will apply for the closing statement. Participation in this forum is contingent on each candidate respecting the rules. Time will be strictly enforced. Should a candidate not comply, they will be asked to discontinue their participation in the forum. And those are our rules. All right. So we're going to start with your opening statements. You have 2 minutes each to introduce yourselves, and we will begin with Larry.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Larry Acree. I'd like to thank the Chamber for allowing me to be here. I'm running for re-election in Position 1, Manvel City Council. My wife and I moved here in 1976. Unfortunately, she's passed away since September. A little bit about myself is I retired from Shell Oil and computer operations, a Navy veteran, and I currently a 40-year volunteer firefighter in Manvel. So my city experience starts back in 1984. I ran for council. I got on then. We needed a lot of issues to be fixed, like drainage, roads. We still need some of that. Drainage is always a priority. So I ran from 84 to 86, then I ran in 2000, and then 2012 till now. So I got about 16 years of city council experience in here. During that time, I've been on MEDC twice, Planning and Development committees, and spent a lot of time at meetings during the week with the city manager, following up on everything. So over the years, the city has grown. It's growing a lot right now. And city planners have been on top of this all this time. With a thoroughfare plan, comprehensive plan, and many other things. Thank you.
All right, David, you have 2 minutes for your opening statement now.
Hello, I'm David Lands, and I'm currently hold the Manvel City Council Place 2 position. I'm excited about running for re-election and to continue the great work that is currently being accomplished by the council and mayor. I have been a resident of Manvel for about 9 years with my wife, Carla, who has been a Manvel resident for about 17 years. Prior to retiring, I was involved in various fields, such as land development, project management, and rental properties. All these past experiences has helped me become what I consider a good steward, a good councilman for the city of Manvel and its citizens. I decided to run last year to fill the one-year term of the council seat vacated because there are things that I feel strongly that our city needs attention, direction, or change. I wish to continue this methodology over the next full 3-year term. Looking forward, there is much more work to do in our growing city. We will have new parks, new events for our communities, a better, stronger police force for our neighborhood safety. We will have funds to address our road repair issues. We are looking at alternatives to reduce rainwater flooding. There are so many facets happening behind the scenes, and these are all good and needed. Looking back over the last short year, there has been many great accomplishments by the council and mayor. Just a few are better pay, benefits, and equipment for our employees and police. Several road and drainage improvements completed and more to come. A new police station, a new public works facility are under construction. We have new parks initiated, Akery Lake Park, Dolores Martin Park, and the Buddy Williams Park, while investing over $300,000 into our existing Croy Park. We have a new elevated water storage tank coming, as well as a much-needed wastewater treatment facility. There are many more accomplishments over the past year that time will not allow me to share here. But one thing I will close with is Manvel is heading in the right direction, and we cannot slow down now.
Thank you. Robina, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, Chamber. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Robina Spruill, and at the heart of everything I do are 3 core values: accountability, transparency, and integrity. I've been in the state of Texas for 9 years now, city of Manvel for 8. I've always been a worker bee. I've come from the East Coast. I've worked on the Hill for Congressman Mike Siner. I worked for a lobbying firm for almost 15 years. So government and how a city runs, how the city and the government run, those things I'm used to. On a county level, once I came here to Manvel, I definitely put my feet in running, working in the city with volunteering. I'm president of the Manvel Economic Development Corporation, where we have done numerous things as being part of collaboration with them. It's been important. Manvel is important to me because I'm watching my grandchildren grow. I'm watching the things that are in Manvel that we are building, places we need more for our children. I love which are vibrant in sports, arts, and entertainment. I want to work together to build our community even more, and I do call this place my home. I'm involved with I've been on the board of the Chamber. I've been on the board of the Mosaic, and we have constructively helped build homes when tragedy has struck with the floods or anything else that have come. We've been a part of that, gathering things for people of which they need. Economic development and infrastructure are the foundation upon which a city can truly thrive and reach its potential. Talk is important, but action is crucial. It's about knowing what we need and then actively working towards goals to create a better future for our community.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be before you today as a candidate for Manvel City Council Place 1. My name is Keith Bonner, and I'm running for this position because I believe in the power of community and the potential for positive improvements when we work together. My objectives are pretty clear: to champion the interests of all residents, foster inclusive growth, continue to provide a safe city, and ensure our city remains a vibrant and thriving place for generations to come. I've lived in the area since 1985. I'm a former director of the Pearland EMS and a former commissioner of ESD 4. I would like to see a community area that all citizens can utilize, somewhere where a sense of community pride and togetherness could be fostered. I want to continue to prioritize police, fire, and EMS support.
Okay, we're going to start with the question. I am going to begin with David this time. David, if you become reelected to the City Council, what specific initiatives or projects would you prioritize during your tenure?
Which question number is that?
It's question 1. I just cut off the first half of it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
You went over your experience already very well, all of y'all did, with the introduction, so I don't see any reason to go through that again.
Okay. Well, my past experiences has included land development as well as project management, which included world travel and collaboration with a multitude of others. While on council during this past year, I have implemented our new fencing ordinance and guidelines. I have a direct lead in improving our waste removal contract, and I've had a lead role in the coordinating of future farmers markets and festivals for the city. Futuristically, I will focus on our revised thoroughfare plan, as well as future designs for our 160 acres of land that I hope to see a beautiful commercial town center, complete with lake, hiking and biking trails, restaurants, hotel, hospital, and yes, a few ball fields.
Thank you. Robina, I have the same question for you. If you get elected to council, what specific initiatives or projects would you prioritize during your tenure?
Thank you. That was question 1. During my tenure here, as far as prioritizing, one of my biggest initial is, of course, we'll grow the infrastructure. One of the things that's close to my heart is our children. And we need to see more activities for our children. We need to see more building structure, which is beneficial for our kids. The one thing, we do have the parks, but we need to have things in the parks for the kids. We need a bigger library. We need entertainment and definitely sports for our children. The one thing that we have to go to other cities around us is for entertainment purposes. And right now, and our library has been the biggest thing, because with everything of innovation, the one thing.
Thank you. Okay, so I hope I do not confuse things. I am skipping question 2. Robina, we're going to start with you on this question for financial management. Describe your approach to managing the city's finances. How would you balance the need for investing in infrastructure and services with the necessity of maintaining a healthy budget?
What question would that have been? 3. Number 3. Economic growth brings in money. You need revenue to support the infrastructure and provide services. In other words, bring in more businesses and not raise the people's taxes.
Larry, would you like me to read the question again?
Yeah, please.
All right. Describe your approach to managing the city's finances. How would you balance the need for investing in infrastructure and services with the necessity of maintaining a healthy budget?
Well, actually, we're in the process of doing that right now. We're going to upgrade our utilities to 3,000 connections. Tonight is one of the nights we're going to do this. And Valencia, which is our newest project, needs about another 700 connections. They've got 410 that's available for the city. So we got to expand that. The water tower is under construction, which is be a 1 million-gallon overhead storage tank. So the projects we have today are the projects we've needed for a long time. Finally, they've started. So drainage is a priority with me, and the city owns 117 acres of of property next to C12 ditch, and we're hoping that eventually we'll be able to improve this to where it will stop Highway 6 from flooding.
Thank you. David, same question. Question number 3. Describe your approach to managing the city's finances. How would you balance the need for investing in infrastructure and services with the necessity of maintaining a healthy budget?
I believe in being a wise steward of the taxpayers' dollars. We as the government have to remember it's not our money, but it's the people's money. My approach to managing the city's finances is simple. How can we utilize the revenue to the best serve the people? That is why we're now getting monthly updates on the health of our city finances. That is why our most valuable asset, our employees, are getting the resources they need to do their job. And that is why we have now added $4 million to our savings account by being smart with our finances and not spending it on things the community does not need.
I believe I should always be prepared with the city's financial department reports and do my own research so that I understand their proposals in order to maintain a proper operating capital. I know that's important that we have money set aside in case things like COVID or some unexpected problem happens, that we can run the city financially, keep everything afloat for 4 to 6 months. My job as a city councilman is to be a steward of the city's funds.
All right. Moving on to the next question. And David, we're going to start with you on this question. Transparency and accountability are crucial in any government role. How will you ensure that your actions and decisions as a council member are transparent and accountable to the citizens of Manvel?
We now stream our city council meetings on YouTube and Facebook, which streaming on Facebook was not done before. You will see that I am actively engaged during our council meetings. I'm known to ask a lot of questions. I like to look at things from a different perspective. At times it may be a Doubting Thomas approach, but it's important that we continue to provide factual information to the community through our mass notification system, our town halls, and the Mayor's Manvel Minute after each council meeting. A transparent government is a responsible government.
Robina, you're next. Would you like me to repeat the question? Transparency and accountability are crucial in any government role. How will you ensure that your actions and decisions as a council member are transparent and accountable to the citizens of Manvel?
My actions are transparent and accountable because I'm open to listen and be asked questions. I believe in showing up for moments like this and open for forums. I accurately turn in forms and documents that the public has a right to read once proper channels have been gone through.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Whoops. Hold on, where are we? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to skip you, Larry. Okay, Larry, transparency and accountability are crucial in any government role. How will you ensure that your actions and decisions as a council member are transparent and accountable to the citizens of Manvel?
Well, like Councilman Land says, all our meetings are streamed. They're public meetings. The mayor does what he calls a Manvel Minute, which is something that he came up with, which helps hit the high points. I personally have a meeting standing time with the city manager on council days so I can learn exactly what's going on with the agenda. And we also have an email account, all of us do, that anyone can email us about any questions that they have.
Funds. These two responsibilities are earned by your actions. I've always lived my life with the belief that honesty and integrity is the best policy. And if I maintain that lifestyle and that thought pattern, I won't have any problem with transparency or accountability.
Now we're going to move on to the next question. Robina, we're going to start with you on this one. Small businesses are the backbone of our local economy. What specific policies or initiatives would you advocate for to make Manvel more small business friendly?
Since I can't pull that up on my phone. The small businesses, they are the backbone of our local economy. This I know for a fact because as being a member of the Economic Development Program, we have brought in a lot of small businesses. Small businesses are great tax breaks for our community. And as we had a conference the other day, and we were talking about ways to bring them in, ways to go out, initiative, talking to other businesses, talking to other places and people to find out the needs for Manvel. One of the things about we have focus groups going on right now here in the city of Manvel, which our mayor started this year. And the good thing about it is the communities, the subdivisions are able to put their input in of what they want into our cities, which would bring in the small businesses. So I do believe that collaborating and working together is one of the focuses that we can have.
Thank you. Larry, same question. Would you like me to repeat it?
No, that's all right. We had formed about a month ago a committee for business, give us some feedback on what's going on. Up until just currently, we haven't had very much lease space available for small businesses. So, because Town Center, Meridiana Parkway, in the next, I would say, month or two, there should be a lot of space available for a lot of small businesses to move in. And we have zoning, so as long as they meet the zoning requirements, then I think all of that will be a lot more.
Okay, small business support. I would continue to do what we have done, which is eliminating red tape that hurt our businesses. We have made the permitting process easier for new businesses. We have formed a business advisory task force, and we have pushed our MEDC to take more proactive approach, which is they have not done in the past years. I have visited some locations firsthand in order to get a better grasp of their vision. We need to continually improve, moving away from the no, you cannot do that to answer to one of here's what we can do together.
In talking to people in the city the past 3 or 4 weeks, I think this is an issue with the small businesses. I would make sure that small businesses have a level playing field with regard to permits, inspections, incentives, and ordinances, as well as the large businesses do. They need to have the same playing field.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to move to question 6. We're going to start with Larry for the answer for this one. Engaging with the community. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm reading the wrong question. Okay, question 6. How do you envision the role of the City Council in driving economic development in Manvel? Are there any particular sectors or types of businesses you believe the city should attract or support?
Well, sales tax is the biggest revenue we get out of that. MEDC is our corporation that goes out and any business that needs help, they go to MEDC for help, which they've done a pretty good job at helping. And so that's about all I can come up with as far as that attracting our support. Town Center is doing a lot. We got a lot of businesses in Town Center.
Okay, David, same question for you.
Okay, economic development. I believe Manvel should be aggressively approaching businesses to come to Manvel and invest in infrastructure to help local mom and pops open. With continued growth, we will see facilities, businesses, and restaurants that we all want and need. We must do our best in working with leaders who are interested in Manvel. There are many plans on paper that I have seen, and the future possibilities are quite exciting. We meet monthly with the Chamber of Commerce to find ways to work together, and I look forward to help implementing a change in our EDC to provide them with goals and guidelines for their future needed contributions to the city. And this is something they have not done in the past.
Thank you. Robina, I've got the same question for you.
I envision our city being on economic development for the past several years. The one thing I know is we have wanted more access to doing a lot more with cooperation from the City Council. Working together with City Council, knowing what businesses should be brought in, should be a joint venture. And one of the things, the sales tax, as Larry said, it has done very well. And over the years, we have done signage, which has helped a lot of the businesses. We've given out incentives. We've also helped those that wanted to put a new face on their building. And one of the things that I feel, in particular, the small businesses, they want to feel and know that they are welcome, because a lot of them have said they weren't sure. The application process, as they're working on it now, is becoming a lot more, it's accessible, but to understand it. They get you may get the package, but many of the small businesses don't understand how to fill them out. Working together with the city, I do believe that can be done.
The EOC should be provided clear direction as to the types of businesses Manvel citizens want. A better direction to contract negotiations needs to be provided in order for the businesses being pursued to meet a criteria for the best partnership and financial growth to the community.
All right, thank you. We're going to move on to community engagement, and we are going to start with David on this one. Engaging with the community is essential for any city council member. How do you plan to keep the lines of communication open with Manvel's residents and business owners?
I have shown over the last year that I am proactive in engaging with our community, and do not only do it when I'm running for an election. I will continue to try to increase my involvement with the citizens by visiting with our local business leaders, attending events such as our recent Easter extravaganza event, which I enjoyed talking to several citizens and business owners, and working with council members like Crystal Sarmiento, who holds a regular business owners roundtable where great ideas are discussed about the future of the city.
Thank you. Robina, I've got the same question for you.
Can you repeat it again?
Engaging with the community is essential for any city council member. How do you plan to keep the lines of communication open with Manvel's residents and business owners?
Well, first of all, I was just talking about this the other day. One way to engage the community, we have so many different subdivisions. And many of the subdivisions during my campaigning, they spoke to me and said that they don't feel as though they're part of Manvel because they're individualized. I think that we could have meetings at their clubhouses each month, have the HOA involved, bring refreshments, but then we could sit and engage, have the council talk to each member of the community to see exactly where they are, what is it they want. And as far as the small businesses, go back and revisit the ones who have been here for a good minute. And the fact is, people like you to come back to see them, to know who they are, and have, to find out what they need. And not only just find out what their need, help them. And we can help them in a financial way as well, whatever they need. Thank you.
Okay, Larry, I've got the same question for you.
Well, I have gone to HOAs, but they usually have to invite you first. And they don't do a lot of that, unfortunately. Well, that's how you learn more of what they have. Not everybody has a clubhouse. I don't think Lakeland does. They'd probably like to, but they don't have one. Like I say, we have a committee that's supposed to be giving us feedback on the businesses, which it's fairly new. We haven't done any of that yet. But other than that, we just have to be available to them.
I will have an open invitation to any citizen, any business, any person in Manvel. I'll meet with them, discuss the issues with them, and I will attend and support as many community events as possible. If anybody has known me at all, I've always been a strong advocate for community events. I think without that, you can't become a close-knit community. We're still small enough that people want to see their leaders out in the community. They need to be there, and they need to want to be there.
Robina,
Yes.
it is your turn to start. So, the question is, public safety is a top priority for many citizens. How would you work with local law enforcement and other service providers to ensure that Manvel remains safe and a welcoming place to live?
One of the things I know as of right now, they coming into, I know I'll use my subdivision. They come in quite often. The people know the officers. They're friendly with the officers. One of the things that I do find in speaking with the officers that the citizens, they are making the citizens their top priority. Because when there's a friendly environment, the community and the police officers, they have a good camaraderie. And it lets the people know that there is violence out there, but it makes it much safer in our community. And one of the things for local law enforcement, they provide, I'll say for our HOA, when they come in, they provide a monthly thing of activities is what's going on. We found out just recently, a lot of them didn't know that they had cameras in their community. And having cameras in our community made people feel a lot of safety because there had been a few robberies, things going on, they didn't know about it, but now they do.
Thank you. Larry, I've got the same question for you about public safety.
Okay. Well, we just broke ground on a brand new police station, which has taken us 2 or 3 years to finally get here, which is a big plus to keep officers. We've upped their pay, and we're providing insurance for all the staff. So another thing, fire and EMS, most people have no clue where that even comes from, but it's a part of an ESD3. They fund that. The city has required the developers over time to provide an acre and a half, I think it is, for a public safety area so they can build a building. And Rodeo Palms is the next one that is targeted to build a new building over there as TxDOT finishes that overpass. So I had another thing I was trying to think of that, well, I can't think of it now.
Well, hopefully you'll think of it in time for the closing remark. Okay, David? Would you like me to repeat the question?
No.
Okay.
This is one of my strongest stances that I can have. I am adamant about our police as well as what they need to ensure our utmost safety. Proudly, the current council has changed the culture at City Hall, and our police department is benefiting from that. I was a strong supporter of the most recent raise and benefits package for our police, as well as fulfilling their list of needed equipment. I will continue to support them 100%. With the latest financial package providing to our police, I'm proud to say that we are now getting the attention of quality, seasoned applicants for our police department. We must be proactive in letting criminals know that Manvel is a place you do not want to come and commit a crime.
As I said in my opening statement, I'm a former director of Pearland EMS. I have been involved with public safety most of my life. I was trained at an early age in the chemical industry for fire and medical, so I've always been a part of that. I would be a champion of support for the police in ESD3. These providers are paramount to a success and welcoming city. The current personnel are doing a great job, I want to say, and I commend them for their continued support of the citizens in our town.
So our final question this evening is on infrastructure, and we're going to start with Larry. Infrastructure investment is crucial for a growing city. How would you prioritize infrastructure projects in Manvel, and how do you plan to fund these projects?
Well, we have a infrastructure project going on. Well, we got two of them going on right now. The funding on the overhead water tower, which is 1 million gallons, is funded by current year's revenue, and the upgrade to the utilities will be funded from what we believe is some sales tax and existing funds. So these are things you have to stay on top of, and it's growing. Manvel is growing awfully fast, but fortunately, the infrastructure, like in Town Center, they've done their own. Meridiana does their own, but they all belong to the city when it's done. So, but we're working on it, and I think we're still ahead.
Thank you. David, I have the same question for you.
Over the past year, we have awarded contracts for a new elevated storage tank, a police station, a public works building, and soon should be doing one for the water reclamation facility. We will soon be going out for an RFQ on our regional detention facility known as Acre Lake, and have been aggressively improving ditches and roads. Our approach has been that the city for far too long has rejected performing its essential services. And under this council, that has been changing and will continue to change. We will need help from developers on the funding of these infrastructure issues. We will be looking forward to more sales tax coming in to fund these infrastructures as well.
Thank you. Robina, I have the same question.
And as David said, we do have the, we do need the money from the builders, but EDC has been doing a really good job as far as infrastructure, knowing what needs to be taken care of and paid for. When I say paid for, we know that the businesses enable us to do that. The infrastructure, as Larry has been saying, things have come along. It's come a long way. It's come a long way to what we see from, I know when I first came to Manvel, to the infrastructure now, where the wastewater treatment plant. That's another thing that's grown and growing. And as we said, infrastructure without businesses, without the infrastructure, the businesses cannot come. But with the infrastructure and the growing of the infrastructure, and the thing is, people have to realize you have to want growth, and growth and infrastructure go hand in hand.
The city's currently in a study to update our infrastructure plan for growth over the next 20 to 30 years. We need to enter into contracts with businesses and developers that provide a sustainable tax base and are willing to build more than just roads, water, and drainage. We need to express we are looking for lifelong partners in our community and have the understanding that citizens have a choice and want to spend their money in Manvel. And that's why we need the right businesses to be here. People of Manvel don't need to have to go to Houston, to go to Pearland, to go to Alvin to get the things they need if we bring the right businesses to our city.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to go to closing statements now. You will have 2 minutes for your statement, and we are going to begin in the middle with David.
I appreciate the time provided to meet with you this evening and answer just a few questions. There is much more to share. You can reach me on my David Land City Councilman Facebook post or email me, david.lands@cityofmanvel.net. I enjoy being your council person. I take this position with the utmost respect and sincerity. And with your vote, I will continue to do my best to make Manvel a nice place to call home.
Thank you. Robina, your closing statement.
Thank you very much, Alvin Manvel. It has been a pleasure and a joy, and thank you, gentlemen. Again, my name is Robina Spruill, and I'm running for City Council, Position 2. I know I went at it last year, and I know I'm going at it again, and it's the same position as my opponent here. I must say that I've learned a lot of new things by going out, seeing new, not that the subdivisions were new, but the people. You cannot try to talk and speak to everyone is been one of my goals, because it lets me know what our city needs. I do know the council, we have a good council. We're going to continue to have a good council. I'm asking you to vote for me, Robina Spruill, City Council position number 2. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Larry, your closing remarks.
Well, thank you. I'm running, this is my last term to run. We have term limits. I have a lot of issues that are still in process. The drainage issues are big, and it's an expensive item. It'll also create a recreation area. But let me say this, we work together. It's a good council. I come up with a phrase that we vote independently, but we work together. And early voting is April 22nd. The voting day is May 4th. And I hope to win again. That's all.
In closing, I want to thank the Alvin-Manvel Chamber for providing this forum. Again, my name is Keith Bonner. I am running for Manvel City Council, Place 1. Every resident deserves an equal opportunity and representation. I will advocate for policies that promote equity and inclusion, address systematic inconsistencies, and ensure that all members of our community have access to the resources and support the need to thrive. These are not just campaign promises. They are a commitment to you, the residents of our city. Together, we can build a brighter future for our community, for our children. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to earning your vote. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time to help the voters decide.
Again, I want to thank you tonight for watching this forum for all of our candidates. Thank you for taking the time to educate yourself on the candidates who are going to be on the ballot. I also want to thank Heights Baptist Church again for letting us use their facility, for letting us use their tech to be able to bring this to you. I want to thank 1820 Marketing, who also helped put this video together so that we would be able to post it for you and have it easily accessible to your social media platforms. Again, I want to thank the candidates for making themselves available to us so that we could get this information out to you. That reminds us that early voting is going to begin soon on April 22nd through April 30th. And then Election Day is going to be May 4th. Thank you again for supporting your local chamber, and thank you always for shopping local.